Hey, before we get into this call, Shontail Hocker, who is a victim of Ernest Williams, has released a book called Reset, Secured by Christ. It's about her life. I will provide the link in the description box for those of you that love reading or just want to support this author. Check out the link in the description box to get you a copy. I read an excerpt and it's attention grabbing and teaches lessons along the way. All right, y'all. So I'm back to talk about a little part of the great debate between Lenore and Sonya this Tuesday. Some of y'all may have watched, some of y'all may have not. I didn't catch the beginning, so I kind of went back and I, searched around for some stuff because I wanted to visit the shoe sham, the shoe swindle. And it started in a conversation about why Nesto has not 6, but 7. Villanor said 6, but I think someone in her comments did mention that Nesto admitted to having another child in Brooklyn that nobody knew about. Nobody had ever really talked about besides Nesto in this one phone call that I reacted to. Villanor wanted to know why, if Nesto's such a good person and Nesto could possibly be innocent, why does he have 7 kids? Why does he have or had, he still got one wife, but at the time he had 3. At the time he got arrested, he had 3 wives. Why, were none of them stepping up to vouch for him or proclaim his innocence, speak out publicly about him? Why was no one doing anything for Nesto besides Sonya? So Sonya's going to explain that away. She also mentions that she didn't start putting money on Nesto's books until year 2, whereas Nesto got arrested in July. I guess she's counting year 2 as January. So basically you found him in August. 4 months into you finding this ninja, you started putting money on the book. But let's listen to her explain, how she pissed away thousands and thousands of dollars on someone that was just her friend, that she had only known for a short amount of time, that she barely knew, that she only talked to for 5 minutes a day. Okay, let's get going.
That ain't nobody got good shit to say about him. He has a terrible, terrible reputation. Horrible reputation. And honestly, what really stands out to me about his reputation, if I don't know anything else, I know none of his kids do shit for him. Don't want to come see him, don't want to talk to him, don't email him, don't text him, don't nothing. They ain't putting no money on his books. They ain't doing shit. So I find that hard to believe that you can have 6 kids, 6 of them, and none of them want to see him. And the
7.
one that he does talk to, lightweight consistently, if you want to call it consistent, because I don't even feel like they talk a lot anymore as much as they used to. But Dion won't even go see that nigga. Why won't Dion? Dion got a bunch of cars and all this shit. He make all this money a month. He cannot put no money on his books. He won't go down there and see his daddy. Okay, none of these things happen. So that tells me what I need to know. I'm be honest. The fact that you told me he had 3 sisters or 2 sisters, none of them fuck with him. His own friends. Where are all these other friends that he was so good to? None of them are putting money on his books or anything. His own wife. Everybody, nobody has anything good to say about him but you.
So people were putting money on his books because I just started on the second year doing it. The first year, everybody else was putting money on his books. I don't know where you get that from.
And then on his books.
I put it on the second year. The first year wasn't me. It was his friends. It was the wife. It was the bestie, and it was one other person that was putting money on his books. I didn't start putting money on his books till the next year. Is when I did.
Ma'am. You was putting money on his books within months of him getting there, and that
no, I wasn't. No, it wasn't. I was putting money. I was putting money on the calls. That's what I was putting money on.
Okay. You was
On
putting
the
money on the call.
calls.
And
Yeah, when did you start sending him DuPonts?
That's what I was. Yes, I was putting money on the calls.
And you were spending $600 a month doing it.
Exactly. On the calls.
But my point
on the calls.
But my point is still that's $600 of ridiculousness, especially when nobody else in his family wants to talk to him.
Listen, let me.
Was she gonna say exactly ridiculousness? Yeah, exactly. Ridiculous.
This to you. I have a very large family, and I don't talk to 90% of them. And it's not because
Just say it.
Oh, because somebody's foul or this, that, and the other. It's just what type of person are you? Are you an isolated person, or are you a person that pick up the phone and you in everybody's face at all times? It's whatever type of person he is and how he was, then that's how he is right now. So if he wasn't all every day and this, that, and the other, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, you know, and then if he's not picking up the phone calling and they even asking, because some people you got to ask for them to help. They're not going to volunteer. Because, again, everybody's going through it for the most part. So if they don't ask, then, you know, I'm going to say, okay. You know how black folks are. If a nigga don't ask, I ain't going to worry about it, you know. So how many of us got people that just jump up and be like, hey, girl, you need it? It's only one or two people in your life that move like that. But and everybody else is it's either when she calls me, I'll look out, or if she don't call at all, I ain't going to worry about it.
But Sonya?
But if I'm handling it, who do we need to call?
Sonya, he was still calling. He was still asking you for money for his shoes and Dion for money. Or no, it was Dre?
That was later. That wasn't the first year when he was talking to everybody.
Listen. I'm talking about in particular when he needed some shoes. Let's just take that for an example.
That was last year. Go ahead.
And who did he ask? You?
That was year 3. Year 3, he asked me. Don't talk about Dre. Dre wasn't around.
I'm giving you
that was year 3. Year 3. Year 3.
Dre wasn't around, but he still sent money for them shoes.
Year 3. Listen to what I'm telling you. Listen. When he asked for the shoe money, who did he ask? Dre and who? You?
I don't know if he asked Dre. I don't listen to their calls.
Okay, it was you though, right?
He asked me.
Okay, how much did he say those shoes cost?
I don't know.
He told you something like $40.
If that's what he said, I don't know.
He told Dre it's like $50, right?
I don't know. I don't listen to the calls.
Okay, well, I'm telling you.
Lies.
I'm telling you, that's what he told Dre one amount. He told you a separate amount. Both of y'all gave him money for said shoes that only cost $12.
I don't know which one he picked.
Oh, God. She sounds so pitiful trying to argue that she didn't get scammed out of money for $12 shoes. I don't know how much the shoes cost. I remember it was a huge hoopla about the shoes and what shoes he picked and who he was asking for the shoes. Nesto did not need shoes bad enough to be asking everybody and their mama for money for shoes. He really didn't. It was something else that Nesto wanted or needed. And that, because, I mean, if Sonya had been giving him money all along, why would he need to go out of his way to ask other people for the shoe money? I mean, I get it. I don't know why we went off on a tangent with the shoes, you know. But, you know, he was going around asking everybody for shoe money.
And how do you know which one you picked?
Because we looked them up and the shoes don't cost no more than $12.
Are y'all bored?
No, we just about...
No, that's bored. If you hear him... If you hear this man, V. If you hear it on the phone call, this man is talking about, I need some shoes, and y'all that bored that y'all looking up the shoes to see what shoes he actually bought.
Somebody got time to click, clack, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack. Oh, shoes. Okay, how long you think that take, Sonya? It may take you 1,000 years to research something, but it don't take everybody 1,000 years to see what shoes he got to choose from. Bored? No. Interested? Yes. For ish and giggles. For entertainment purposes only.
I know what point you're trying to make. You're trying to say that he's finessing me for shoe money and he finessing what's the name for shoe money.
That's exactly what he does.
That's your point. But again, who cares? It's $40. It's $40.
To you in your
it's
face,
$40.
Money on his damn books.
Listen, it's $40. I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
Well,
I ain't pressed.
Care about that
because that shit is minute and little to me. That's minute and because it's just minute and little. Now if he talking about if he told me the shit was 400, and that's a bit different. That's gonna hit a little different. Or 4,000, but $40, girl, ain't nobody talking about $40. There ain't nobody talking about it. Listen, I'll give a straight.
Somebody commented, but you bothering Dion or getting mad, being pissy with Dion for $10 or $20. What's the difference?
Stranger on the street, $40. I ain't thinking about $40 damn dollars.
He is.
That's fine. That's his life. That ain't mine. I don't care.
Now, Sonya, this conversation can't go well if everybody can't talk one at a time. Okay.
If you bring it up, I'm going to respond. That's just how that goes.
That's what I want you to do, respond, but I'm going to need you to allow me to speak as well, okay?
Go ahead. Do you, boo?
All right, thank you. The point is this. Why would he have to lie to anybody? What he was trying to do is get $100 on his damn books for whatever reason. Okay, but he didn't need no damn shoes that cost no fucking $40 in that county jail. Now that is a fact, and the fact that he didn't tell one.
So you're saying the only shoe that they offer are $12. There's no $40 shoes.
That's on the high end. They're about $15.
So okay, you said the high end is $15 is the top shoe.
Yes.
Yes.
He's
the top shoe. Listen. The top shoe is $15, right?
Yes.
Y'all check the commissary.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so funny to me. Okay, and y'all know for a fact because that's bored. But y'all saw that he picked.
Y'all don't like liars.
Listen, y'all saw that he picked out the $15 shoe.
We saw that he told you he needed.
No, you said which one did he get?
Listen to me. You asked me a question. Let me finish.
Ma'am, if the high end is $15, he could have only chosen shoes at the most for $15. But he asking you for 40. He asking Dre for 50. I mean, what else? What more is there to ask?
He asked you for some fucking shoe money. He asked Dre for some fucking shoe money. He never told the other person that the other person sent him the money. Instead, he thanked both of y'all for sending him the money. That's all he wanted anyway. That's all he wanted anyway. So, and that's the point. If I'm out here doing everything I can to support a nigga, including putting $600 a month on phone calls, putting extra money over here on his books, running errands over here, trying to prove his innocence, talking to his legal team, all of this shit, and you gonna lie to me about some fucking $40? That is the question you should ask.
So no. See, this is the difference. I'm not that female. I don't get emotional and worry about little shit. You see, y'all be all in that emotional stuff and worried about all this, that, and the other. And I can't believe he did this and did it. I ain't worried about all of that.
Okay, well, yeah, it does show a pattern. Very cherry. It does show a pattern. But anyway, Villanova was not going to get Sonya to be mad at Nesto. Not at all. Now, there was a part that Villanova was wrong about, and I wasn't able to look at the chat at the time to see if anybody was trying to give her the real on it. Villanova was saying that if Nesto didn't know about the Pine Grove Road homes that, home that Erica put in his name, but that Erica and him were supposedly renting, why was he, shown in video footage cleaning the house? Now, Sonya was trying to clarify and say that that was the Bent Creek Manor home that Nesto was cleaning with no furniture. So Villanor was incorrect about that. I don't know if she was able to read the comments or not, but I kind of figured that that was the Bent Creek Manor property and that Nesto was never in that Pine Grove Road home that he supposedly was renting. However, his vehicles were parked in the driveway, which would be suspicious and lead people to think that Nesto knew about the Pine Grove Road property being in his name. As far as, what I think about the Pine Grove Road situation, if Nesto was unaware that that property was in his name, to me, that's just, that's just what you get. You dealing with someone that you know is not an attorney. Is not an attorney. She's willing to go before the courts. She's willing to draw up fraudulent paperwork from a fraudulent law firm to fight cases for you. You just got Nesto's dumb behind and just ended up having to take the fall for, something that he didn't know about, if that is the case. They can tie Nesto to that property because those vehicles were in the driveway, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Nesto knew his name was on that property. Now, was he going to try to convince Shirley? Maybe he did know about it, and maybe he was going to try to convince Shirley to move into that house. I don't know, but Erica has already ratted him out. Erica has already turned state's evidence against Nesto. So, unfortunately, even if he did not know about that property, he's still taking the fall because he's still locked up. Sometimes you do bad stuff, you may not get caught for said bad things, but something else could catch you up and lead you, down this road, down this incarceration road. So it is unfortunate that Nesto was dealing with Erica, and the one thing that he possibly did not do is what led him to being locked up. But why would you park your vehicles in a property? Why would you assume? I just don't know. Nesto was in one Pine Grove Road property because he was on video. He was on Zoom with Erica while she was trying to fight a case for him. So you're in one property with her. You're parking your vehicles next door. So you assume that Erica was renting two side-by-side properties, and you had no knowledge that this was done fraudulently. Nesto also knew that Stevie J had rented that property before. How did he know that? Why would he know that detail but not have indication that his name was on that property? I don't know. So this topic came about when Villanor was trying to explain to Sonya how and why Nesto got picked up in the first place. Because of course Sonya is claiming that there was no reason for Nesto to be picked up. He was, either wrong place, wrong time, or, he just took the fall for everything Erica was doing. It was all Erica.
And I got, and what's the name got, and okay, go ahead to your next topic.
Isn't that what he did with his crimes too? He was lying to the women, saying that he was going to help them with their social media presence.
Listen, I don't know. I can't say. Listen, I wasn't in the room with them, so I can't say what he said to those girls. You wasn't in the room, so you can't say what he said to those girls. You know what the warrant says and how many warrants lie. How many warrants lie? You're talking about an uncredible source, first of all. Roswell Police.
Are they the source, or is
they are the source? No, they are the source.
The source is the victim.
No, and not in this case. Not in this case. And if you doing your detective work like you say you're doing, because all you're doing is going after his end, you're not looking at the whole case. Y'all pick and choose what part of the situation instead of looking at the whole situation.
But Sonya, you didn't look at the whole situation because you've never once said Nesto was guilty of anything. Anything Nesto could have possibly done, you blame the victim. So you're one-sided too. Dozens of victims that say this man did them wrong, you blame the police department. Not old nasty Nesto with 19 cycles, a history of theft and deception, and no one in his camp but maybe one or two people to vouch for him. But carry on.
You can see.
What you need to understand
Dang.
is,
What I need to understand is
girl, lower your voice. Oh, God.
listen, off
I got a massive headache.
real. If you really looked at the case, it don't sit right. This police department said that a white dude, and race has nothing to do with it. Let me erase that. That a
Really?
owner of a property came to the police department and said, I got a tenant that hasn't paid me rent in 2 months. Now, instead of directing him to civil court for eviction,
wasn't it like 3 months? I think it's more.
whatever, that's still
And didn't he have warrants in other counties and other states? She forget that part.
eviction. So instead of saying that, we're going to go in and investigate.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to investigate him because he owed rent. I've dealt with since I was 17 rental property. Not one time did I ever go to the police about a tenant. And even if they tore it up, I never went to the police about a tenant. I know it's civil.
Police.
It's eviction. Okay. So after that happened, they went and grabbed a warrant, right? Because we got to investigate. He said there's very little furniture in the house. That's not a crime.
Okay, but what if they had all these cars parked outside but ain't paying no rent? Did you ever deal with a situation like that? I mean, every situation is different, Sonya.
He said his car's outside. That's not a crime. None of them are stolen. So that's not a crime, right? But we're going to investigate this, right? This is Roswell. So they went and they started sitting in front of the house. How does that seem normal, right? They sitting in front of the house because he got a warrant from 2 years ago that said that the guy gave him $10,000 and he didn't come through with what he was supposed to do. So they sitting on his house because he got this kind of a warrant, right? Not he a murderer or he a rapist and he's a danger to the society. We need to get him off the streets. No, he got $10,000 from somebody. So we need to sit in front of this man's house for weeks until he shows up, right? Then after they arrest him, they go and do a deep dive on any and everything in all cities. Roswell is not a county police department. Roswell can only police what happens in their jurisdiction. They never involve not one other police department from South Fulton, from Alpharetta, from any other city that all these crimes were supposed to have taken place.
But wasn't some of the victims residents of Roswell?
So that those cities can investigate what happened in their city. Now, if you went to court, when all of this played out in court, and the prosecutor, here's our phone, because I made a stink about this on the phone call. And the prosecutor is always on the phone with me, right? They said, what jurisdiction? Because I said they're out of jurisdiction, right? They're not a county police department. No other police departments work in their jurisdiction. Why is Roswell not talking to any other police department that all these alleged crimes happened? They're doing everything themselves. That's not their jurisdiction.
But Sonya, if everybody just sticks to their jurisdiction, at what point does a person who is committing crimes all over the city, all over the state, at what point do they come together and say, okay, we got a bigger problem on our hands here? At what point does that happen? She think people stupid.
Right? They're not even saying, we'll follow along with you since we got this open case. Zero. They never contacted none of these police departments to say, hey, this crime happened in your city. Hey, this crime happened in your city. Nothing, right? Every warrant got Roswell on it. but the city is not Roswell. Check the warrant. Does that make sense? No.
Yes.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's why in court, because you wasn't there. No, you can't, because when we was in court, no, you can't, because when we was in court, let me tell you, hold your tongue, because I'm not done. When we went to court,
and hold it, and hold it, back it up, and left foot stomp, and right foot stomp.
And they brought that up because they heard me say this over and over on the phone calls. He said to Nikki, not Nikki, what's the bitch name? Fields, whatever that hell's name is. He said, and what jurisdiction did this happen in? She said, Fulton County. Bitch, you ain't in a county police department though. So even if it happened in Fulton, why, if the sheriff department, which does jurisdiction the whole county, you're not sheriff, you're Roswell. But they was trying to say, no, she tried to cover and bring it in. No, girl, please. If that's the case, listen, if that's the case, then it wouldn't be jurisdiction. It'd be long as we in Fulton, go with it. Long as we in Fulton, go with it. That's not how it is. No.
So that's what they're doing. Let me explain.
Listen, no, you can't, because she's not.
Well, let me try.
Police department. She's Roswell.
Did somebody try to call you? Because your sound went low for a second.
That's why he brought it up. Why he bring it up in court?
Okay.
Yeah, why he bring it up in court? Because he knew that's what I kept focusing on.
Let me say
this. And he knew I had a point.
Sonya.
That's why he brought it up.
Sonya, listen, baby. Mm-hmm. The first thing, let's go back to the house, okay? If you haven't been paying rent for multiple months and you have luxury vehicles in the driveway, and don't interrupt me, because I know you got something to say. I didn't interrupt you, okay?
I ain't got nothing to say. Go ahead.
Okay, good. You got G-Wagons, you got Bentleys, you got motorcycles, you got trailers, you got all these expensive ass vehicles and shit outside of the house, but you can't afford the rent. That's very suspect. If he's trying to contact people in the house and nobody's answering and the rent's not getting paid, but all these vehicles are outside of the house, you might think, maybe someone's unalive in the house. Maybe there's something else going on.
That's true.
So there's that. The owner very specifically said that there had been illicit behavior happening at the home. Okay? Now, again,
Nesto walking around outside in the driveway, FaceTiming and ish. Going in there, going in the glove box and leaving.
And that gave him, and here's the other thing, landlords can enter properties if they give enough notice in advance.
And I did a video on the paperwork Erica was drawing up from her illegal law firm, sending it to the landlord, telling them that they can't come on the property. The nerve, the gall. So yes, I would go to the police department. If you're not paying rent and you're telling me I can't go on my property and see what's going on.
They give you notice. They tell you we'll be entering on this day at this time. If you are not there, we're still coming in. Okay? Once they got in there and they see there's no furniture, there's just a little bit of shit here and there. You got notary stamps that are not valid. Like, it's looking like some criminal shit's happening, especially when there are expensive ass vehicles outside. No furniture on the inside. If you don't use anything but a little bit of common sense, you're gonna know some of this shit don't make sense. None of it makes sense. There are multiple reasons why that could be. Now, here's the other thing. you know, we had this discussion before about the two houses, Erica living next door and him being in the other house. You said he never lived there. However, there is video footage of Nesto cleaning windows, in there sweeping, doing all kinds of shit in that house. Make it make sense. His name, y'all say you don't know how his name could be on the lease. You don't know why it is that anybody would think he lived.
It went out. Listen, it went out.
Oh,
I
no
didn't hear
wonder
any of
I
that.
was able to say
You
so
talking
much.
to yourself, right? You
I sure was.
Oh Lord.
So that's the other house. That's the Bent Creek house. That's not the house that that's next door to Erica.
How you know that?
Because of the date and when that house was rented and the date of the video. So go ahead.
So you are saying for a fact, you know that's
The
not
date of the
the
video.
house.
The date of the video. That house was rented in March after they got evicted from Bent Creek, in which she went to a friend's house to live and he went to a hotel.
And when's the video?
He never lived in that house. His all their furniture was in storage. It was never in that house. He on the warrant, he's asking the teacher girl, "Can you please keep my appliances? I need somewhere to put my appliances."
So that part of the warrant is true. Okay, so that's 1 point for Sonya. 1 point for Sonya. But that part of the warrant is true, where he's asking the teacher girl where to put, can she hold his appliances, which totally stupid. Who has room to hold somebody's appliances?
Rented that house, why wouldn't you just keep your appliances at your house? Why would you ask this girl? It's on the warrant. Why would you ask this girl to hold your appliances? He also needed a place to park his cars, because in Atlanta, you got to have parking. And Erica was the one that suggested, why don't you park it over at my house? I have a house next door to me that I rent, and you can use that. Now, how that house got in to their name is because Erica represented Shirley in her eviction case, where she was trying to stop them from garnishing. No. Listen,
putting all their names on it and their shit in the document.
Listen. Okay, you got it all out, and let me explain. Okay, Missy. The house was rented by Erica. The owner never met anybody but Erica.
Where's that proof?
It's in the court. Didn't you look at the last court hearing when they talked about that? That she tried to say that she did it on behalf of them. The landlord he admitted he never met nobody but Erica. He never seen nobody. And if you look at Erica's records, run it. She's got mortgage fraud, identity fraud. Okay, it's all her history. Now, the reason why she had everybody's information is because she did the garnishment. Her law firm did the garnishment for Shirley, in which
how does Erica benefit from doing all of this for him?
I don't know. How was that for him? That was for her. That was not for him. Listen, the only thing he had there was his vehicle, because he just got evicted and he had nowhere to put his cars. And Erica, he reached out.
So you got evicted, but you holding on to your vehicles. Now, ain't that backwards? You got 50 million cars, but you get evicted. Why not sell the cars? Oh, that's right, because they weren't yours. You weren't paying those either.
Whoever he could reach out to see if you could hold this and hold that and hold this, because we got evicted from this house. And Erica said, you can bring it over to my house next door. And that's what he did.
What was said?
Because he told me. Check on the phone call.
So
it's on a phone call. That's how I know everything. Because it's on a phone call.
That's what
now, listen. No. It's not just that, too. But the garnishment, her law firm had all of Shirley's information. She had everybody that was on the lease information. And what you have to understand, over the years, because Nesto has a criminal record, in all the places they lived, Nesto was never on the lease. And this is where she messed up. Why would he be now on this lease But in all the years that they've lived together, he was never on none of the other leases. Now, the company, Black Radio or whatever she used, no one can find anything on that. Everybody done researched it and tried to figure out.
Nesto knew what it was. Black Heritage Radio, whatever. He said that was that fat mother something. That was his stuff. He knew. But anyway, tell me that's where Erica messed up. What's the first time for everything? Good luck with proving that Nesto had nothing to do with it, because Erica's already, ratted on him and she's free. So wrong place, wrong time, or dealing with the wrong people, or reaping what you sow, or call it karma, or whatever the heck you want to call it. But as Fonnie Willis said, they were tired of Nesto and all the stuff he had been doing in Atlanta or Georgia for decades, and it was time to pay the piper.
And where does it go? They can't find the company. They can't find the owner. Nothing, zero, nothing, because they can't figure out.
The only people who benefited from her renting out said place is Nesto.
How?
Here's the other thing.
How?
Because for one, all his shit was in the driveway. Secondly, Charleston White said specifically he was brought to that house, and that Shirley.
That's a lie. Stop it right there. That's a lie, because Charleston White was around COVID. The house was rented in March of 2022.
Yeah. Shout out to Shirley with the strawberry letter. Raglan Hub and Nesto. What?
So get your facts right, girl. That's not right at all. Go look at that Tasha K. Go look at the Tasha K. Go look at the Tasha K interview with Charleston White, and he'll tell you the time. Anything on that. Everybody done researched it and tried to figure out where does it go. Okay, that's not right at all. Go look at that Tasha K. Go look at the Tasha K. Go look at the Tasha K interview with Charleston White, and he'll tell you the time frame. That wasn't. It was her house. It was her house.
It was still happening in 22, right?
That might be 2 points for Sonya. 2 points for Sonya.
Listen, it was her house he went to. He did not go to that house. Remember, that house is vacant and it had no furniture. Why would you take somebody you trying to get to sign and woo-woo to a house that has no furniture? But I need this man to sign all his this, that, and work with me and let me manage him. But I'm going to take you to a house with no furniture? That don't even make sense. No, he went to her house, and Shirley was there and Nesto was there.
Yeah, they pulled up there. And here's the thing. He did not bring, she did not bring Charleston White to be at that house next door. He took Charleston White to that big house, okay? And
no, he didn't.
I got news for you.
Where you get that from? Did you look at the interview? Did you look at the interview?
I saw the interview. Now
you're not getting information.
Charleston White didn't say in particular what house it was, did he?
Right. You see, now I got to question everything you done told me.
I would
because look, Charles, no, you're not on this one. Because Charleston White even said it. Nesto and I've never had any conversation other than the fact that he just said hi to me. He said that man never said anything else to me. This is out of Charleston White's mouth. Nesto never spoke to him other than hi. So I don't know where you get that he took him over to a house.
Here's the thing. So people are saying, yes, he did say that
No, go look at the interview.
I saw the interview.
Okay, you need to look at it again.
For a second. This is what I want y'all to understand.
You need to look at it again.
Those two houses next door to each other, you can best believe that when they were trying to con Charleston White, they didn't bring Charleston White to that house that she was staying in. They took Charleston White to that big house. That's where they took him. The other thing is
the same size. I don't know even what you're talking about. They're the same size.
Houses? You think they're the same size?
I saw. Yes, they're the same. They're just made differently. Go, girl.
Okay, so somebody said the house Charleston was talking about was in Florida. Hold on. Erica house was in Florida. Why now you are saying Sonya had the company, but yet only people linked to the company is Nesto and friends. She just put him with Charleston White. Thank you, only me. Oh, well, Charleston White did that anyway, but Nesto said he don't know Charleston White, but Charleston White said he met Nesto. Him not being on the lease is how they were able to be evicted from Bent Creek Manor. So Nesto always been homeless and never owned ish, basically. I'm climbing up Mammy Mountain. Why is he still in jail 4 years later? Good question. So why didn't Erica complete the application for the car? So Nesto thought she was an attorney, but she doesn't know. Why would he show up for court on behalf of Shirley if he didn't? Why would he show up for court on behalf of Shirley if he didn't know anything about it? He told Shirley it was bugs at the house, so now they were evicted and not just left because of bugs. Thank you, only me 23. So Sonya over here telling all, she's spilling it all. They left because they supposedly left Bent Creek Manor because of the bugs, and Sonya saying they got evicted. Baby, I don't know, y'all. So yeah, I just came back to talk about a couple of the little things. Lenore was incorrect about a few things, so that did kind of discredit her when it came to her and Sonya's great debate on Tuesday. Sonya's, still defending Nesto, and she's still not making any valid points, y'all. She's really not denying much of what Nesto is accused of. She's just trying to say Roswell didn't do their job properly. She still can't say Nesto didn't do this, Nesto didn't do that. She puts Nesto with all of the victims. The teacher, Gail Bickham, knowing Erica, having his cars at the property that's in question. So thank you, Sonya. We appreciate your hard work, girl. You always pull through, even though you don't go off script much and we don't get much new information. You still always come through with incriminating your friend. All right, y'all. Well, I just wanted to revisit a couple things from the Sonya and V debate. They never got to those hot topics, Trump and Stephon Diggs. But anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. Talk to y'all later. Bye.